What's up, y'all? This is John Joseph with Rip Rabbit PMPDT. Here's my little Rip Rabbit. Just kidding. Here's the representative of the dog training portion of our business here. Today I just want to talk about heavy lifting and why you want to do heavy lifting. Why do people say like lift heavy? And there are a lot of reasons for that, but it's also something you should be pretty careful with. I do heavy lifting. It is the fourth phase of the National Academy of Sports Medicine's opt model. So it's the fourth stage out of 5. Really, technically, there are only 2 stages. But you can make it 5 stages if you want to get really technical with it, which is what I do because that's the best way to prevent injuries and to improve performance. Right? I want to be functioning and pain-free. Yeah, good girl. She's rolling over right now. So, the reason why you want to do heavy lifting would be to strengthen your ligaments, your tendons, your bones, help depending on what age you are. There's a specific rule that at a certain point in time, you stop gaining bone density, right? I'm not sure if I completely believe that. Your body appears to be capable at any age to be able to increase bone density. But obviously, as you're going through development, from childhood to adulthood, you're gaining a lot more bone density than when you reach, say, age 30 or so, and then your body's more maintaining bone density, right? So basically, I like to lift heavy because when you're switching into the power model, which would be the 5th stage of the opt model, it helps a lot with gaining power because there are 2 parts to having power, and that would be force and velocity, basically, equals power. So that's speed and strength is equal to power. So once you enter the 5th stage and you have a lot of strength, what you do is you switch to increasing speed and decreasing the weight that you're using. So you're using a lot more speed with less weight, right? And so going through the 4th stage of the opt model helps you prepare for this. Hello, kitty pie. Come here. Good girl. Power moves. The 5th stage of the opt model power would involve things like having a kettlebell, about 10% of your weight, and throwing it as hard as you can, right? With a lot of speed, but it's kind of light, right? It's only 10% of your weight, but you have to throw it as hard as you can. That's power. The other way to do power would be having a lot of weight, right? And trying to and then you're decreasing the velocity. So essentially maximum strength training is power training, but you have it flipped. Come here, calm down. Sit. Please. So maximal strength training is power training in a sense, but it's just with the force side rather than the velocity side. So once you move up to power training, you flip those two, typically is the idea. So yeah, that's part of the reason why I do maximal strength training. I also do endurance training, which would be the third stage or second stage. The third stage is improving upon the second stage, which I've done many times, which allows me to move into the fourth stage properly. Okay, so assuming you have good balance, good muscle hypertrophy, and good endurance, we are ready then for maximal strength training. And lifting heavy has a lot of benefits. Really, it's the best way to maintain bone density once you're in a certain age group, and it's the best way to gain bone density when you're in a certain age group. Even children can lift heavy as long as as long as you're very careful with it. Resistance training has shown to be very good for kids. Usually heavy weightlifting is reserved more for adults, but kids can do it as well. Older adults can do heavy weightlifting as well. And as a matter of fact, heavy weightlifting is probably most important for adults because it maintains bone density. What you don't use, you lose, essentially. And your body responds to the specific demands that you place on it. So if you place the demand for heavy weightlifting, your body's going to adapt accordingly. So those are kind of the reasons why you want to do heavy weightlifting. You can, of course, stick with endurance and sticking to hypertrophy and doing lots of reps and things like bodybuilders kind of do. But heavy weightlifting will help you maintain bone density, and it builds your body a little bit differently as well. But it's really important for adults to do heavy lifting. Men, women, really anybody that is able to. Even though it's hard. And some things you want to do alongside with heavy weightlifting would just be like having essentially a really good diet. This is when you want to start taking like protein into consideration, because when you impose certain demands on your body, if you impose certain demands on your body, it is better to increase your protein intake a little bit. Maybe go from, if you're doing endurance, go from 1.2 grams per kilogram of body weight up to maybe 2 grams per kilogram of body weight if you start heavy lifting, because collagen, ligaments, your tendons, your bones, a lot of these things, your muscles, are made out of protein actually. So get plenty of calcium, phosphorus, protein, and you'll be good. Thank you for your time. Thank you, loyal followers. The few of you, I appreciate you. Spread the word. Have a great day, guys.